So there's been a lot of talk between the 170R and the CS2, how they compare to each other, what are the differences, you know, which one would you rather prefer? So I'm just going to go over and discuss. I've owned both. I now just own this as my primary. I am a huge fan of the 170Rs. I think Planet Eclipse kind of shot themselves in the foot with these. I think they're killing the market on the CS2 with these alone. The whole term of it being a budget CS2 is extremely accurate. So I'll go ahead and being that I've owned both, I've shot them both side by side, compared them both a lot. I'll just go over the main differences. So right away you can tell it does not have toolless grips. That is a huge difference. When you start to look at this, does this really matter having toolless entry to the back grips? Not anymore. The batteries are up in the front, so it's really the only thing you have to get to. It's toolless. The whole grip just slides right off. This is a 9-volt and the CS2 is AA's, but getting it off is pretty much the same. I don't think that it's that big of a deal. The front grip on this, you'll notice, is a lot more straight. It doesn't have the beveling that the CS2 grip does. The CS2 grip is also a little bit longer. It's about an inch, probably about half an inch longer. When I put my hand on this, you can see it does cover it all the way, but it is shorter. With the CS2 holding it like this, you actually would have a little bit hanging out of the bottom. No toolless entry for the back. The wraparound grip doesn't exist. This is not the best board, but it does plenty. I don't have any complaints with the board. You do have the Pops ASA. So it's the exact same ASA that's on the CS2. This one just isn't as milled down as much, but I actually think this is a little bit easier to run because it is a little bit bigger. It fits in my hand at least a little bit better. This does have the Gamma Core bolt in it. Same way to get it out. I mean, you've seen these a million times. These run at 135 PSI. The CS2 runs at 105 PSI. So it does run a little bit softer and it's going to be a little bit more efficient. But caveat to that, I have the hard tip in here now, but I've shot the soft tip bolt in here. I actually have one on the way from Planet Eclipse for this, and putting the soft tip in the 170R, it shoots nearly identical to a CS2. We've shot them side by side, one person holding it, you know, holding both guns in each arm and shooting them, and pretty much unanimously everyone felt that this shot better. But it was a little bit more comfortable because of the gapping here is a little bit more spaced out, so you have a little bit more room between the trigger guard and the foregrip. But for the most part, you know, everyone said they would choose this for the money, but that they shot almost identical. This did have a little bit different feel, but people seem to prefer this one. Not really sure why. I thought they shot identical, but does have the toolless eyes, so the same thing the CS2 has, where you pop these off and it has the reflective channel all the way down. The eyes are actually down here, so that's 100% identical. It does have the low rise feed neck. That's identical. It does not come with an FL barrel, so it does come with kind of a, I mean, they're shitty shaft 5 or whatever it is. I have a Freak XL with a carbon fiber tip. I prefer these over the FLs. I think that, I mean, I know you get way more bore precision as far as you have way more selection. I mean, I have 10 inserts and the back and the front, and they're $180 as opposed to your FLs that you're paying $220-ish for 3 backs and a front. So I definitely, if you get this barrel, that's another thing that's a huge difference, but I recommend getting something else other than the shaft 5. It does have a garbage ass barrel on it, but other than that, they shoot really good. The CS2 has a way better trigger. There's way more customizable. It does have a magnetic return. This one doesn't. This isn't the worst trigger ever, but it's not the best. But you can get aftermarket. I think Infamous makes the Deuce trigger for it, and that runs pretty good. But other than that, I mean, they literally are so similar. It's insane. And does it justify the $800 value? Absolutely not, in my opinion. You're basically paying the $800 more for a milled ASA, a Gamma Core Pro with soft tip and hard tip bolt, wraparound toolless entry grips, which you should almost never need to get in here anymore. A little bit more of an upgraded bore with Bluetooth and some other options. And then you're getting the FL kit with it. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. Obviously, you would have, like I said, those AA's in the front instead of 9 volts. So I highly recommend it if you're in between the two. Shoot them both if you can. If not, there's plenty of videos out there. But the CS2, man, Planet Eclipse really shot themselves in the foot. when comparing this to a CS2. They should have definitely spaced the features out more than they did, and they didn't. In my opinion, that's going to hurt him. The prices, at least, it already has. People are looking for these. But even if you're just looking for a backup or something, you maybe are in the mid-end or something, you get this and you take the time to put that bolt in it, maybe a new trigger and a new barrel, and you're talking about getting a CS2 for, you know, half the price. So I'll do a quick shooting video of it, and if you got any other questions, just hit them in the comments below. So we'll go ahead and shoot this. Throwing a pot in of some GI custom field paint, so nothing fancy. Try to get the focus in. Pop CSA on. All right. Hope if I had the hopper on. As you can see, she shoots absolute ropes. I have no complaints with this thing at all, man. I mean, she shoots so soft, very quiet shot. It actually sounds a little bit similar. It's kind of, I feel like it's a hybrid between your LV core and your Gamma core for the sound wise. It has kind of a poofy shot, but not really, just enough to notice it. So if you have any other questions, post them in the comments, but go out and get you one.